Hey, it's Don Skaggs again with Empowered Inventing, the one place where if we can get you to behave like a successful inventor or entrepreneur, then you'll start to be moving towards becoming a real successful inventor or entrepreneur. Because if you get the behaviors right, a lot of times the nuts and bolts stuff can take care of themselves. So anyway, I want to talk to you about, or I want to start out by asking you a question. And that question is this, can you think of a product that is much more boring than a shower curtain rod? I mean, come on, it's a shower curtain rod. I think there was a movie one time where a guy was a shower curtain rod or shower curtain ring salesman or something. It was supposed to be like a real boring occupation. And, you know, you'd think of that, and most people would look at that and, you know, maybe home accessories or bath accessories and think, oh, that's just the most boring thing in the world. How could you do something innovative in a bathroom? But surprisingly, some of those places are some of the best places to find some real innovations. And I brought a shower curtain with me, and what made this shower curtain, this particular one, very innovative? The fact that it has a curve to it. And why was this innovative? Because people were so disgusted and so aggravated with just having that shower curtain so close to them in the shower. So what did they do? They said, well, let's just make a curve to it. Let's curve it out and solve that problem. And they came up with the curved shower rod. And I just thought that was, you know, to be in such a boring place, and you know, if you just looked at it before everybody knew about these, and you said, oh, a shower curtain rod, come on, what can you do with a shower curtain rod? Those things have been around for, you know, all these years, and that's something, you know, I couldn't improve upon that, but yes, somebody did, and somebody made a lot of money doing this. So I want to talk to you about finding those creative niches in places that would be seemingly boring to everyone else. Because if it's boring to everyone else, that means there may be an opportunity in there for you. And so one is the shower curtain. So, you know, bath accessories, that's an easy place. Another one, and I don't have the product with me, I wish I'd brought it actually, is a product that I actually know really well. Because I know the inventor, and I got to watch his story. I had a ringside seat to his entire story, and it was a really cool story. And that was my good friend Dan Atkinson, who invented the grass buster. And he used to work on lawnmowers. Now, that wasn't his occupation. It was just something it was an area of interest to him. Most people could care less about lawnmowers. They're like that necessary evil. Oh, I got to cut the grass and get out there. And he saw this problem with people's lawnmowers where all the grass would just get caked underneath the lawnmowers. So he came up with this really cool product called the Grass Buster. It was a little hand tool, but it was made to clean out the underside of the lawnmower so quickly and so easily that you could do it in like less than a minute and clean out all this gunk underneath. Now you'd think, well, that's just, you know, who'd buy that? He actually had somebody tell him. He went to one of these you know, American Idol-esque casting calls with venture capitalists, and they would come and evaluate your idea for you. And the guy told him, he said, no one is ever going to buy this, go home. Well, he dug in and he said, no, I know this is a problem. I know this is a painful problem for a lot of people. I know I can solve this. He proved his market. He took the right steps, and he actually became successful. He sold these to hardware dealers throughout the country. He eventually sold his business. It was a very successful product. So, and it was in, again, just one of these seemingly boring type markets that everybody else would just pass over. For him, it was an exciting market because he knew he could solve their problem. There's another one that I didn't know personally, I kind of wished I did, that I always just thought was a real phenomenon a few years back, and that was this blender that they were selling called the Blendtec Blender. And if you're familiar with this, you know what I'm talking about, because the guy that was selling it was a YouTube sensation. And I can't think of anything truly more boring to sell than a blender. But this guy would go on YouTube, and this was kind of the early days of YouTube, you know, back a few years ago. And he was on YouTube, and he wore this white coat, and he had this blender, and he said, will it, in the show, he named the show, Will It Blend? And so he'd take all of these just weird things and put it in this blender to see if it would blend. And it was so fun to watch that you couldn't look away. You had to see it. I know one time he put an iPhone in a blender, and again, but the point they were making was this thing will blend anything. They sold all kinds of blenders because of that channel and because of those videos. So it was a seemingly boring product, but they put a twist to it. Number one, it was a good technology. Yeah, it could blend just about anything. They could put just about anything in there, and it would just crunch it right up, blend it right up. And number two, they sold it well. And that sometimes is really the secret to it, is if you can sell it well, if you can engage people and get those eyeballs on there and get them to see it, and it really does do something, and it really does have that wow moment, then you can be wildly successful in a very boring place, or a seemingly boring place. I think once you start making money and you're into it, and you care about it, and you're solving people's problems, then I don't think it's a boring thing at all. So anyway, so how do you find these things? Well, number one, look for complaints that people are making, especially customers are making. Maybe you're online, maybe you're on Facebook. I know an inventor I'm talking to right now, and that's where they're seeing the need for this innovation that they're working on, and it's where people are complaining about things. If they're complaining and nobody's doing anything about it, then that's where you can be the hero. You can be the hero with your product and go in and solve their problem, because they'll pay money to have their problem solved. So be sure and look for complaints. Be listening. Have your ear to the ground in whatever industry it is or wherever it is you're watching. And then you have, of hearing those complaints, you have to find the people and the problem with the most pain. Where are they really where are they really feeling it? Where are they feeling it? Where they're going to take out that wallet, they're going to take out that purse, they're going to take out that money. And they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, shut up and take my money. I want my problem solved here." So be sure and watch for that. Those are places, and it doesn't have to be. You don't have to invent the next iPhone. You don't have to invent the next really cool thing. You don't have to be Elon Musk. You can come up with really cool things and find, as I said in another video before, a $5 million opportunity. And those are the ones the big companies are passing over, which means they are, it is a just ripe field for you to go in and pick. So find those, but in order to find the right fruit, in order to find the right product, you have to find the right pain and the most pain. So the other place is look for a place where maybe no improvements have been made for a very long time. That's the way we've always done it. I've seen that. I saw it in my industry, where they'd been doing a certain procedure for 100 years, and nobody else had thought about doing anything else until somebody came up with an innovation and then changed the entire face of that industry's landscape. And I've seen it in a lot of industries, and you can find it too. And again, you can find it in a lot of seemingly boring places. So look for those things and watch for those things, because your next big innovation, your next $5 million opportunity might be hiding right into somewhere no one else is looking, because everybody else thinks that boring old thing is never going to change. But you can be the one to change it. So anyway, I hope these videos are helpful. I'm Don Skaggs. This is Empowered Inventing. Check out our website, empoweredinventing.com, and I will look to see you at the next meeting, workshop, maybe one of our online classes, or on the next video.